What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So there were two other games that came on yesterday that I didn't get a chance to talk about. I was busy doing some other stuff. So one of them was the Clippers versus the Mavericks, and the Mavericks prevailed 113 to 103 over the Los Angeles Clippers. Luka Doncic had a triple double with I think it was 31 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists. Tim Hardaway Jr. had 21 points and 4 rebounds. And Finney Smith had 18 points and 5 rebounds. For the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard had 26 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Paul George, 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. Patrick Beverley had 10 points. Uh, Rondo had 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. And Batum had 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. Now, these are my thoughts. I think the difference in the game pretty much is just that, especially in the second half, or especially like late down the stretch, Dallas made shots. Okay, especially from 3-point range. Overall, Dallas shot 17 of 36 from beyond the arc, or 47%. And in today's NBA, that's often the deciding factor who is making their outside shots. Now, Kristaps Porzingis finished with 14 points, but overall, he did not have a good game. Now he did score a deciding basket late in the game when they were, pulling away. But for the most part, Kristaps Porzingis did not have a good game. Um, Let me just say this, all right? I just want to talk about certain narratives that have emerged over the past week or so that I want to refute. The last couple of days of the regular season, last couple of games, the Clippers rested their starters. Um, Last I checked, that was a common practice amongst teams, especially when you have guys like Kawhi Leonard who have a chronic illness, or when it comes to injuries, and the NBA knows this. The media knows this, but they pretend as if they don't know it. You know what I'm saying? Now, LeBron James suffered a severe high ankle sprain, and everybody knows that he's dealing with that injury. But yet everybody somehow seems to forget that Kawhi Leonard has a degenerative patellar tendon issue. That's the same problem that ended the career of the great Mark McGwire. Okay, 1 year Mark McGwire was on pace to break Hank Aaron's career home run record in 2000. The next year he was hanging it up because of that problem with his knee. So this is a career threatening type injury and a career threatening type knee condition. Okay. Um, I remember when McGuire started having that problem because he started limping around the bases. I think it was around June of 2000, and they had to shut him down, and it affected his career all the way until he retired in October of next year. We've had so many more advancements in treating things since then, but this is still a problem. So I didn't bat an eye when I saw that they were doing that, right? But of course, the media spent it as if the Clippers were trying to avoid the Lakers. Even though you could also make an argument that the Lakers were avoiding other teams when they were sitting guys, but the media didn't make those arguments. You know what I'm saying? And it's also funny that, well, I ain't gonna go into that. I'm not even gonna go into that one. But it's just funny how when certain players lose, it's always on them. But when other players lose, it's always other players. You know what I'm saying? When the Clippers lose, it's on Kawhi because he's the leader. when Russell Westbrook doesn't perform well and he loses, the media pretends as if they don't realize that he also has the second leading scorer on his team, Bradley Beal, who also is supposed to show up. Now, Bradley Beal can go 7 for 27 and be excused. If Russell Westbrook has a bad game, it's on Russell Westbrook because he's the best player in the league, supposedly. Even though we know he's not the best player in the league. And they'll tell you he's not the best player in the league, but yet it's just a whole lot of games these guys play, man. Inconsistency, okay? But when other guys lose, it's, the others. It's always something else. Okay, so this is the thing, okay? This is the first time that Dallas has led in a playoff series in 7 years since the 2014 playoffs, when they were up 2-1 against San Antonio, a series that they eventually lost because San Antonio went on to win the championship that year. Um, Dallas is a formidable team. Remember, they took the Clippers last year to 6 games, and the media was obviously rooting for, Dallas. I remember so many different articles referring to the Clippers as thugs. So, yeah, when I talk about that there's a racial element when it comes to these things, people think I'm being a racist. Oh, man, you're always talking about race. You're always obsessed about race. No, because it's there. You just don't want to see it. There's always been a bias when it comes to certain things, when it comes to race in this country and in the media. You know what I'm saying? Luka is a phenomenal player, but he's one of those guys that when he gets a triple double, it's the most amazing shit ever. Some other guys get triple doubles and they're selfish and they're stat padding. Am I lying? It's not always about race with that because there's another particular guy who gets triple doubles and it's amazing when he does it. But look, at the end of the day, the media, most of them on television, are going to be rooting for Dallas to win this series. Okay, it fits their narrative. They want to promote Luka. Most of these guys don't like Kawhi Leonard for their own personal reasons. Okay, um, that's just how it is. Okay, and this is a lot of what Kwame. This is a lot of what Kwame Brown's been talking about. It's just that when little old me or other people with a 800 or 1,000 subs, when we're talking, nobody really listens to it 'cause they don't think we don't know what we're talking about. But it took someone like Kwame Brown, who's a former NBA player who has clout, to pretty much say what we're talking about. And it validates what we're talking about. And I appreciate that a lot, tremendously. I love Kwame. Uh, but these are some of the things we've been talking about for years. So this is the thing. Um, I think this is going to be an exciting series. Um, the Clippers are going to have to play better down the stretch. The missed free throws, um, you know, the bad execution. Some of it's coaching, maybe a little bit, but it can't always be coaching. Last year it was coaching. Is it coaching again? You know, the Clippers have to play well for 48 minutes straight, or at least down the stretch. You know what I'm saying? The Clippers can play exceptional basketball for 42 or 43 minutes, and then somehow in the last 5 minutes they can throw a fucking game away. We've seen it happen before, and that's not the sign of a championship team. And that's not, honestly, that's not Kawhi Leonard's MO. The last couple of years have kind of taken the last 2 seasons Kawhi's rep has taken a slight hit because, at one point in time, we were calling him the best player in the NBA. So look, this playoff year, this playoff series, it means a lot to Kawhi Leonard and how he's viewed down the stretch. The Clippers need a long playoff run, in my opinion, to reestablish Kawhi Leonard as one of the top 2 or 3 players in the NBA. Because now he's just seen as one of the best players. And he's been under the radar a lot. If Luka wins this, if the Mavericks win this series and Luka plays well, um, they're just going to run with that. Okay, it's going to be annoying. You know what I'm talking about. It's going to be Lukamania. They're going to compare him to Jordan and Kobe and probably even LeBron. And when it gets to the point where he gets to the finals or some shit like that, I don't want all these LeBron fans running to my channel all of a sudden saying, "Yeah, man, you're right. The media, I want to hear all that shit." Because whenever I was talking about anything else before about the media, oh, you're just a hater. You're just a Jordan dick rider. Oh, you're just a cold tard. All right. But anyway, tell me what you guys think.